What's going on YouTube? How do I want to do this? I might have to bring it down here. Yeah, let's bring it down there. I want to give a shout out to Pop Culture Mika. I want to give a shout out to Ask a Brother Podcast. Uh, I respect everything that he's doing. I love his points of views. When you are looking for someone, man or woman, who knows how to carry a discussion without it becoming something outside of what it's actually supposed to be addressing, you have to applaud it and you have to be grateful to have those platforms. So I've done a few reaction videos to some things involving him. This is an exchange between him and Mika. I want to hear what they got to say. This is my first time actually watching this live or right in person. So let's get into it. Roll footage.
Y'all didn't talk about the men enough, or apparently at all. Talk about men, and it's time to say to me, we have actual equality. And I'll start with this before I even do talk about men. This comment I raised, Jazz, and for all of you, the reason why a lot of ladies are struggling with the red pill, the reason why a lot of ladies are struggling with men even talking publicly about women's behaviors is because you all have been conditioned to believe that women were the only ones that are allowed to be a part of the conversation. The View, talk shows, newspapers, magazines. You had a 60-year plus run of propaganda that heavily talked about what you needed, what you deserved, who you don't need, and who you're better than. So that on nationally televised shows like The View, they're talking about, do we need men? The idea that something on national television would say, are women necessary? Are women needed?
Men would never say that.
We would never even effing say something like that. You've gotten so conditioned to this. This small segment in a small section of the internet called the manosphere is where men are taking barbershop conversations and taking conversations that they may have in private with a male mentor. They're just putting it out in the public eye.
I'm glad he brought that up, right? So this is what I often find to be very hypocritical, right? For years and years, you're not really supposed to say too much of anything as a man in general. You're supposed to go to work, clock in. If you bleed, you can't say ouch. If you're scared, you better act like you're not. If you don't fit in, then you're just supposed to fall to the wayside and become obscurity incarnate. When you have these movies and these TV shows that allow the erratic emotions and thought patterns of women just run amok without being any checks and balances, you're basically telling me and everybody else that this is acceptable, this is fine. And then you build this attitude and this aura around you that says I have plot armor. I'm allowed to be this way. Why are you acting surprised? What's the pushback for? Like, why do you have anything to say to me? Y'all ain't said nothing to me before. You've been letting this go on all this time. Now all of a sudden y'all want to say nothing. It's not even like that. It's just that the conversations we have, like he said, we don't have them in public. We keep it private in a trusted area with people that we actually can go to for real counsel. I digress.
Sometimes it's sexist. Sometimes it's misogynist. A lot of times it's just accurate.
And that's the problem, that it's the accountability, right? And it's so crazy because they talk about, oh, misogyny, meanwhile you want me to allow a full grown man in my bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
That's not misogyny. Okay.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
walk
yeah.
up and act like a ma'am, but I should want that, but I shouldn't want a man to be able to have certain autonomy over me, right? Because if somebody is saying that they're going to lead me, then okay, they have a lot that comes with that, and there's a certain responsibility with that, right? But
Yeah.
you as a woman have to have the discernment to pick a good man for that. All
Yeah.
right. And so what I found is that a lot of women don't. And
Yeah.
that is the
Yeah.
reason why a lot of men, it wasn't for the um the factor of I just want to take control of women. A lot of men really do care about their wives and daughters. A
Mhm.
lot of men care about their daughters.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so to end up with the proper man, he takes charge of setting her up with the proper man. Not just about who's cute and who you like and who gives
Mhm.
you butterflies. Is this man going to take care of my daughter like I would? Does this man actually really want to be with her, or does he just want to sleep with her?
And that's the problem. You don't have that mother, father. You don't have that tribe at home that has all of these different, what's the word I'm looking for? You know how you have an officer at every little checkpoint and you have to show ID and you have to make sure that you are who you say you are. You don't have that at home no more. And a lot of that is because the way that the system is designed, it is to make and villainize a specific gender, put them in a light that is negatively going to look as if they are a detriment to your DNA, your gene pool, your future. They're going to put a stain on it. They're going to do all of these things that's going to make you feel depressed and miserable and unhappy because society is saying you're a slave or you're this, that, and the third. Nobody seems to have the conversations though and really put these situations in the right categories where they belong. So you got folks that are dependent on certain subjects and certain titles to identify with in order to navigate these relationships or partnerships or business relationships in general.
Yeah.
And a lot of the
Yeah.
times women don't see it.
No, it take like women's intuition doesn't actually exist. And I know
It exists, but here's
you
the
know what it
thing:
is.
it
You know
doesn't
what it
kick
is.
in. It doesn't
When
kick
does it
in
turn on? When
until
does it turn on?
it don't that it turns on when she met Tyrone. I'm telling you right now. She saw it. She saw at catches, back in the day you had devil in she
Yeah.
saw it. She said, "Oh, he got 4 baby mamas." I know, but he is so fine.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So shout out to
You know.
Slimmy. I saw you in the
What's up, Slammy?
pulling up real quick. And Slimmy, listen, y'all gotta treat Slimmy better. You and what's her name?
No,
Molly?
you will not. You will not.
Y'all,
You guys.
Look, real talk. I'm gonna say this because Mika, she right. I had to think about that for a second because I used to say, "Oh, your discernment is trash." I don't think anybody's discernment is trash. I think we all have that voice. We come to that crossroad and we make a core decision to be a hoe. We would make a core decision to sleep with who we want to sleep with, get trains ran on us, and all that. We make the decision to do it. you know, we just ignore it because our flesh and our desires and our needs supersede logic most of the time. So yeah, I'm leaning towards agreeing with her on that point. I am, because we act as if women are just so pure and innocent and they don't have this darkness to them. But you see the stories, you hear the cases, you see the posts online all the time, and it proves otherwise.
The last week and a half, I don't know what y'all doing on this panel. This man is losing it. Y'all
So I
stressing.
would. It's so
this
funny
man
that
out. No.
we would be having a conversation in some way. They get to Molly or Slimmy will get to argue, and then it's my fault.
Listen, no, because Molly, I know her game, and don't bring me on the panel because it ain't gonna work on me, Molly. I'm just telling you that right now. But with Slimmy, y'all be riling this man up, and y'all say, and I need to ask you this because does the sisterhood exist? Because according to you and all the ladies on the panel, the sisterhood doesn't exist.
No, they say, well, some women think it exists, and a lot of men think it exists, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I say men are the only ones that have a brotherhood, right? Men are the only ones that have a bro code, man code, whatever you guys call it, right? Women do not have a sisterhood. Women are a collective of individuals that have stood just standing by each other while it benefits them.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Mika. And look, this ain't gonna sound very popular, but I don't think there's a bro code. I don't think there's a sisterhood. You have a group of people in different locations on this planet that they stick to certain things, but collectively as a whole, there is no such thing. Why do you think the Bible exists? Why do you think the Quran exists? Whatever faith or religion you believe in, they have statutes, and I personally go by the Bible. You're supposed to have fellowship. And based off of what I see, everybody is selfish or out for themselves. We covet each other's husbands and wives. We are selective with who we want to hold accountable. We idle in worship. And we support who we want to support. We do not honor the code. The real sisterhood, what it's supposed to look like, we don't go by it. The real brotherhood, we don't go by it. There are some pieces, but overall, nah. This is a dog-eat-dog world. And we did a live stream on this a while ago about the existence of the sisterhood. I don't really buy into it either, though. But it's not because you don't have women who, hold each other accountable. It's because most people are just mind your business. It ain't my problem, so I ain't going to say nothing. But we'll get on social media and we'll chastise everybody.
Okay, because if it was so a sister code, right, you wouldn't have names like Pick Me and she's male identified, right?
A male centered, yeah.
You wouldn't
but the
have
assumption
that.
is that they're basically saying these women are outliers and the rest of us operate in
they're shaming us. They're trying to shame us into going over to what benefits the majority, right? The majority. Let's just say this: the majority, if the majority has a bunch of babies out of wedlock, right? Even if you don't have babies out of wedlock, women want you to be over here, so that way, just in case you have one, nobody shames you for it. Right? So we're there just in case. So even if you don't, have this problem, still do it. So we can, we can get it. We can get it just in case. And then they'll move the goalposts because remember they wanted to work. Now
Yeah.
they're tired of working and they want a soft life, and men aren't providers and leaders. So now they've moved it over here. And if you tell them, well, you wanted to work, oh, you are male identified, you're a misogynist, but this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're listening to you. Who I don't understand. You don't like
got everything they wanted.
Were the ones that gave you what you wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
asked
think they
for
got
it.
what they
So
wanted.
yeah, no, there's no sister code, because I will tell you right now,
Mm-hmm.
women will backstab you in a heartbeat.
You know, the messed up thing about this whole topic itself is even when you try to shame people into operating the way you want because it is retrofitted to your sin and your lifestyle, it's always going to backfire on you. Matter of fact, it's only really going to backfire on you because you live in that way, which is cool. But what happens? Childless or fatherless homes, broken homes. You don't have the support that you need financially, emotionally, the protection and covering. There's so many different factors that come into it. So you're out here manipulating people into doing and living the way that you want. So you don't have to be held responsible for your poor choices. And it still doesn't work out for you, even if it does work out. If you get my drift. Anyway, I love that clip. Shout outs to Pop Coach and Mika, and shout out to Ask a Brother podcast, man. I always love the transparency and the honesty up there, man. Tell me what y'all think. Do you agree, disagree with anything that was said? Let's have an open dialogue.
Welcome aboard the flight. This is pilot Pusha talking. We going back to Memphis and coming straight from New Orleans. The estimated time of arrival is about an hour, and I can turn you ghost if you try and play with my power. So when you look up and see the sun flashing, stay in your seat. If the flight attendant say you making trouble, then we got beef. The turbulence might get rocky. You better not spill your food. This is getting plain. If you